in the same way that it's freedom of speech to burn the flag. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm not a supporter of banning TikTok. I think it's ridiculous. I'm sorry, I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
我觉得言论自由是取决于你有没有伤害到一些或者说一些敏感的问题，他们肯定不会言论自由，这是完全的言论自由。不伤害别人的情况下，你是有无限的言论自由。
西方观众也想知道，中国有真正的言论自由吗？你作为一个在上海的人，你觉得
Does China have freedom of speech? Uh-oh. We definitely don't have freedom of speech. Yeah, bro, she's not even in the video. She just hears that. She's like, bro, like, you know, no, everybody knows it's no.
我觉得是还是有，因为我们想说的话呢，也都是，反正我自己想说的话，我都是会有发表的嘛。比如说跟朋友啊、跟自己亲戚在交谈的时候，也都是会有说的这些话。然后包括我们在网络上也都是会有这样的发表自己的看法。
我觉得这其实也是个正常现象，不管是什么国家，不管是什么政府，
Country government, it's always topics.
你是不能碰的。
Yeah, no, he's right about that. Yeah. There's topics you can't touch in the U.S. Yeah, true.
肯定会有些东西是不能说的。你这种言论自由，他们其实是一种双标说法，就是他们自己也知道他们自己有什么东西不能讲，但是他们知道他们
I think that's something we can't discuss here.
他们就觉得是言论自由。
I think that, like, really, I mean, I think he's wrong about this because, like, it's one thing that, like, for example, like, you can't talk about certain different things in the U.S., like different social issues in a certain way, right? Like, yeah, for sure. But, like, you can't means, like, people will get mad at you if you do. Whereas, like, in China, you can't means that it's against the law. It's a bit of a different can't there, but sure.
其实这也是相对的。
那国内来讲，自从就是所谓的电。电子媒体啊，说这个所谓社交媒体啊，等等开放后，感觉上百花齐放了一点了，但事实上，连我自己的微信也被封过。
He's been suspended on WeChat. Damn, man, what do you do? Man,
啊，我讲过一些
spoken out about certain things, try to expose issues, and I've been censored.
那我觉得是
So I think there's definitely some form of censorship. Yeah, there it
一些
is.
时间段的话，
There are times you can't talk about
时
anything.
间段的话就
Yeah.
稍微松一点。那我觉得这个是一个
Question one.
可能在
National policies, yeah, I bet.
国家政策下以大众安全为考
Prioritizing public safety, of
有
course.
些个人的言论就煽动到
Individual comments will incite the public.
前一阵子不是拿着白纸的事情，大家应该知道。那这个事
I don't
情
know what that is. The blank
估
paper.
计你如果有一天我再拿
If one day I were to stand with blank paper again,
是吧？当然
certainly be apprehended.
但是大家都很明白。
Message was clear. Ooh, I guess so. The blank paper was a protest of censorship that nothing could be said. Is that what's happening here? Yes. Okay. That's smart. That's really smart. I like that.
没有言论自由，你说我们在这大街上，你说
是言论自由，
对吧？但是呢，我们国家的在舆论在
Country I love that they're honest about it in almost all these cases, right? It's like, yeah, it's controlled. Yeah, everybody knows it.
宣传方面也是比较紧，这个呢不可否认。可是这个把控有点乱点，不管是什么样的政府，美国政府也好，欧洲的随便哪个国家，中国政府也好，他总要对政府有利的言论，他要来掌控；不利的，他总归要来禁止，对吧？这个是避免不了，随便哪个政府都这样。
Any government, yeah.
抖音是一样的，
Douyin is that's the fucking Chinese TikTok. You can do anything. You can post anything for everyone to view.
都能够看到。这个好像政府对抖音的控制不是那么很严格的。
Yeah.
美国呢，他如果政府认为这个
Yeah, I don't know.
对他产生了不好的影响，我觉得这个也是叫杞人忧天，没必要。这个美国老百姓为什么这么喜欢 TikTok？ 政府也应该自己要察觉的，对吧？没有必要对这个 TikTok 这么封锁。这个再说。 那这个 TikTok 在美国的这个 CEO 周受资，在他这个国会里面
You saw the press conference. Yeah.
问的，
The question asked, I feel, didn't really lead anywhere, and he's right. The people that were pressing him were so stupid. They're so dumb. And like, I have no problem if somebody wants to make a principled argument based off of a stance that Chinese software present on American phones is a national security risk, then or PCs is a national security risk. I think that you should make that argument, right? That's a valid argument. However, I don't agree with it just being TikTok. Like, I don't think that like TikTok is uniquely this evil Chinese machine in a way that other companies that are completely owned by China aren't. Like Riot. Yes. Exactly. Tencent. Yes. Yeah. What are we really talking about here? Like, I've got no problem. But like, it's the selective outrage that annoys me.
阳光公司但也不能一样。
对 pinpoint exactly what's wrong. Exactly.
你说造成影响，
No, he's right about this.
他们还说就中国公司往抖音上投放的内容是比较有教育意义的，所以
So people here smarter.
然后投放到美国 TikTok 上面是很没有营养的、很蠢的东西。
等一下，什么叫做就是投放到它里？就是这个是一个就是用户生产的。
So my platform
对，就觉得就是它在美国版的推送会推送到美国用户都是没有营养内容的东西，然后推送到抖音这边的抖音都是很有教育意义的东西。你觉得在你使用抖音的过程中，你支持这个说法吗？
我都不知道它那个推送机制是怎么样的，就是。
Do they not know how the algorithm is? Maybe they just don't understand the social media algorithm. Because I bet there's a lot of people that probably don't get that. Because it's like I think that they think that the stuff that they're seeing on there is like just because that's what people like. But like, yeah, that's probably true to an extent.
他们怎么得出这样的一个结论的？就是他们怎么知道这种推送就是背后有这样的不同呢？
那你可以简单说一下，你在这边用抖音一般都是，这边用抖音一般都是来看一些什么，看到都是什么内容？
一般都是一些搞笑的娱乐的，因为抖音它大部分都是
So they're just listening to bullshit too.
在抖音上面学习的还是少数。
Yeah, so apparently it's not even true. So what they're saying is like they're listening to the same stupid ass cat videos and bullshit that we are. It's just in a different language. Yeah, so it's bullshit too. Yeah, okay. So yeah, all right.
遇到一些不会的问题，就会偶尔就是定向的搜索一下，但大部分时间随机刷到的也还是一些。
还是这个是取决于个人刷视频的喜好的，就是你越喜欢看什么，它就推荐给你。但是那个中国这边有青少年模式嘛，那个我不知道海外。
Is there a mode for kids on TikTok? I don't even know. I bet there probably is for like under 16, right? But like what about like 16 and 17?
那个挺好的用的，就是可能他们对这个比较介意。
这本是跑题了，你同意这个？
That's crazy.
当然不同意。看抖音本来就是想不用。
Using抖音 is no brain activity. Wait, so is that even not? So is that like not true then? Like all this stuff on their TikTok is educational? It's all just like it's all brain rot content over there too? Yeah, have we been misled? Yeah, it's all just like stupid bullshit over there as well. Of course. Naturally.
觉得这个抖音也是没有教育意义的，但是里面没有教育意义，说实话。说实话，
I don't want to see much educational value either.
看个这个哪有教育意义？你知道有教育，你知道有教育的长视频，你去看那种就是。
If you're underage, TikTok kind of feeds you different content.
就是有关于什么学。
Oh, so if you're okay, so that's you know what's so crazy to me is like you remember like that shit with like the Chris Tyson shit. I feel like that's like another example of wouldn't it just be better if minors just simply couldn't use social media and message people on social media? Like wouldn't that just be good? It's crazy to me like how anybody could be like, no, it's actually a good thing that a 15-year-old girl has Instagram. No, here are the benefits. Number one. Oh.
一个城内内容是吧？就学一个内容，就专门看那种相关，那估计还有点教育。
So good, yeah.
或者要么就看书，光看短视频，怎么可能会有教育意义？半数都没办法。
Half is no educational value. Yeah, that's probably true.
这种就其实
Points baseless, it's not possible.
我觉得这个是
Cultural invasion is nonsensical.
其实文化入侵大家都是相对的嘛，对吧？如果不是我们这边哪有那么多名牌是国外的嘛，大家也是已经一发不可收拾了。那么相对的，讲个例子，小孩子麦当劳，要喝可乐，那这是一个非常成功的文化侵入。但是这4个字我觉得有点政治化了，除非你不要做所谓的自由贸易，不要开放，这是封闭自己的经济贸易，然后你要亲也没办法。那我觉得 TikTok 这个事情是很敏感。
The TikTok issue is pushed by. Here's the reason why TikTok's being pushed. It's being pushed because the people that are pushing it need to get reelected, and the people that need to reelect them are technologically illiterate. So you have to convince a bunch of boomers who don't understand anything about technology why this is something that's bad. And you have to act like you're solving the problem. And so what you do is you say China made this website that's making your kids stupid. So what you just did there, you did 2 really important things. Number one, you gave them an enemy, somebody to worry about, and therefore they're going to see you, and you have to protect them from this enemy to worry about. And more importantly is number two. Number two is you gave them a reason why their kid is stupid. That's not their fault. Your kid is stupid, and your kid can't pass their tests because of China. China is making your kid stupid. There it is.
事实上，它是一个
vote for me, so I can protect you from it.
Toxic media，它真的是上瘾了。所以，那我觉得这方面来讲，政客都是被不同利益团体来 lobby 的帮忙。那我觉得他可能也是因为这个原因来去特别。那我觉得一样吧。
People are looking for they're looking to displace accountability.
在国外，美国到微信也一样的道理，对吧？那我觉得这个其实都是双方都有保护自己的一些所谓的措施啊、手法。
最后一个问题是关于中美关系，大家都知道，你对什么期待呢？
友谊长存吧，何必要互相动干锅，对吧？
就是好好沟通一下，就是团结起来，然后团结起来才会强大。
对。
因为他们联合起来才会更加强大一点，而且我觉得中国应该跟每个国家更加和平一点。本身不是很和平吗？除了美国。
Not like the U.S. Hey, god damn, that's crazy. Like I'm gonna be real. Like I'm kind of surprised that you can tell the kids are so much better.
The End. 2B2T's least populated dimension. Not many players have traversed it due to its dangers, the lack of portals to reach it, and the general scarcity of content. A player looks out from the End Island and probably wonders, what's out there? For over 10 years of the server being online, many bases, events, and torments have occurred throughout the years in this massive void of islands, but most people don't know the whole story. This is the entire history of 2B2T's End Dimension. In late 2010, 2B2T began, and as players traveled through chunks for a year, Minecraft entered its 1.0 release phase in late 2011, including The End. Since 2B2T was around a year old and the spawn chunks were already loaded, the strongholds and their portals were missing. Players asked the owner of 2B2T, Housemaster, if he would add end portals, but he insisted that 2B2T can continue without admin interference and an end dimension. But near the end of 2011, 2B2T was backdoored, giving select players access to every block in the game, including end portal frames. These players were Pop Bob and Police Mike 55, and they would travel to NFE, the most established spawn base at the time. Deep underground, they attempted to activate a portal, but when they inserted the Eyes of Ender into the portal frame, nothing happened. They thought Housemaster disabled end portals entirely, so they gave up entering the end and abandoned their portal. In March 2012, a player named XCC2 possessed a stack of portal frames. He believed that a Stronghold's portal room had to be recreated block for block for the portal to activate, so he went below NFE, invited Police Mike 55, and built a replica of a Stronghold's portal room. After placing all the blocks correctly and inserting the Eyes of Ender into the frames, the portal ignited. In shock, XCC2 and Police Mike 55 stepped into the portal and became the first players in 2B2T's history to generate the End Dimension. After standing around and watching the Ender Dragon fly, they realized they had jumped into the portal without the proper gear to fight, so they jumped off the End Island. Now armed, XCC2 invited JDW99666 to help, and together, they entered the portal and fought the dragon. After a long-fought battle, the dragon was defeated, and JDW managed to grab the dragon egg before leaving. Following the Ender Dragon's demise, many more end portals were constructed at bases all throughout the server, and the dragon egg was duped. In May 2012, after asking around for an end portal location, XCC2 gave the players Bernard Wiseman, Pseudo, and Jack DeRippa coordinates to the end portal under NFE. They wanted to build an end base as they did on another server. However, Pseudo's account was cracked and disabled by Mojang during an account migration leak. Due to Pseudo's absence, Bernard didn't want to play 2B2T anymore, so Jack ventured and built the end base for 2.5 months by himself and used his brother's account as mobile storage. Not much happened out here as a void surrounded the base in the middle of nowhere. To Jack, it was peaceful. But one day, Jack logs in to find a netherrack bridge coming into his base. Frantically, Jack searched around, only to find a player named Ruptured Kidney AFK at Jack's Enderman farm. As Jack got closer, Kidney returned to life and told Jack he had the same idea to build a base in the end. Eventually, they became close friends, and Kidney bridged off and made his own platform next door. From that day, Jack kept all his valuables in his 2 accounts and logged out. While Jack was building his base, JDW99666 had duped the dragon egg. In early Minecraft, it was possible to use pistons to make copies of any block affected by gravity, such as gravel or sand. Dragon eggs happened to be affected by gravity as well, and duping machines were used to make multiple copies of them. Hundreds of eggs were produced daily and distributed amongst 2B2T players. One day, Jack logs on only to see himself suffocating in stone. He thinks they were found. As Jack mined the blocks around him, he found himself in the overworld, but at the exact coordinates as the end base. Jack asked around, and XCC2 told him that Housemaster had shut down the end. Housemaster had been inactive for several months, so all these events were happening without his knowledge. When Housemaster realized the end had been generated illegally, he became furious. He went around the server, deleting every end portal created and removing portal frames from players' inventories. He also deleted the end stone that had been brought back from the end and made it so that any end stone that got placed would instantly vanish from here on out. A plugin was installed so that right-clicking on a portal frame would make it disappear. And finally, Housemaster deleted 2B2T's End Dimension. After a year of the end being deleted, players started to complain. XCC2 contacted Housemaster and suggested that he got to the spots that should have been generated on 2B2T's map and used the /regenerate command to create fresh chunks that would include strongholds and portals. Housemaster listened and officially reopened the end in May 2013, and players could finally enter. The players iTristan, Taylor112, and a few others slayed the second Ender Dragon. For the following months, the end would be used frequently. Players rushed into the end, creating dirt and stone bridges leading out from end spawn, and everyone wanted to build an end base. Players like Amalinux, XUXP, and others tried to grass over the end island with infinite grass blocks to make it more like the overworld. Housemaster spawned in massive obsidian towers and a gigantic endstone and cobblestone Taurus. The Taurus was rumored that Housemaster was trying to make more islands and make it look more natural, but players never got a clear answer. A player named Levi12 made an end base on the island, and by the end of 2013, Pop Bob created a secret base not too far from spawn, but was eventually found, and a player named Atrika built a base as well. By this point, end spawn was covered by a massive cobblestone monster created by Fuzzy Puffball. He used a giant lava cast maker device called Scamp. By 2014, most players didn't care much about the end due to its dangers, the lack of portals to reach it, and the general scarcity of content. This was the perfect time for Jack to build a new end base. From March 10th to May 16th of 2014, the server was on a temp map due to the server lagging. By June, Jack had made several friends on the server and was part of Valkyria. The group decided that their next base should be in the end, as no one had done it before. So Jack bridged off 1.5 kilometers over the void and made a gigantic platform with every farm he could get. They knew it would be a temp map, but they got the basic idea for their base. When the server eventually returned to the main map, the whole end base idea was postponed for a while. In August 2014, Housemaster installed a plugin to patch holes in the nether roof, but this also patched holes in the end. at Y level 0. If a player walked out anywhere or placed a block, it will update the chunk and generate a giant plot of bedrock. One of Jack's Valkyrian friends, Stupid Walrus, asked him how to build an end base. Jack would tell him about the bedrock platforms and told him to travel a few thousand blocks out, make an island out of bedrock, and build whatever was on top of that, which he did. By late 2014, few players lived in the end, but some players like Kinorana, Carl Plemons, and Pyrobyte did. Pyrobyte made a large bedrock floor near the end island to house a small base with an ender pearl farm. After the self-grief of Asgard 2 in 2015, Jack gathered materials and decided that since the end had been open for a couple of years and nobody cared for it, why not start an end base? So he walked back to spawn through the nether and crossed an old highway he dug with his friends, the ones who would be at the first original end base. Jack asked Stupid Walrus where he built his end base, and he gave Jack the coordinates. After traveling on the bedrock path, Jack arrived at Stupid Walrus's chateau on the edge of nothing. Stupid Walrus got all the hard work of wrangling the mobs and the common essentials to make a base there, but the massive bedrock path leading right to it was a problem. Jack couldn't live there directly, but he could bridge off a few hundred blocks into the void, lay the foundation, and bring two
Hey, today I'm going to be showing you guys is my beginner's guide, or generally just a general guide on this game, because a lot of things are not intuitive to find. Like for instance, the settings and the codes is in the top left, and there's a teleport feature in the top left. I didn't even know about this until like 30 minutes ago. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. But I think I have gathered quite a bit of little tidbits of knowledge about this game. So this video will basically be in everything you should know before playing Anime Defenders. Now, for those who this concerns, this game is very free-to-play friendly. You can pay to win if you want, but you can also get a lot of things free-to-play, like fight rolls and everything. So it's unlike AA, where everything you have to, go bankrupt to get what you want. But in this game, I mean, you can, but you don't have to. Now, these on the screen are all the codes for the game at the moment. In the future, it'll probably change. If you're watching this at a future date and you want to make sure you get all the codes, I'll be putting the extra codes, or I'll basically putting all the codes in the description or in the pinned comment on the comment section. Maybe I'll put it in both. Now, when you get gems, you can summon over here for your units. I will say, Pity does not reset. It extends through every single banner. I haven't rolled at all since I started playing the game, and I still have a Mythic Pity of 12. Now, you can buy luck potions for a certain amount of Robux, and you can feel free to buy it whenever you want, because they don't take away if you're in an infinite or in story. It only takes away if you're in the lobby. So you can feel free to buy your lucky potions for the amount of gems you have now, and you can still grind more gems without wasting those potions. As you guys can see, I spent 2 minutes and 10 seconds, and I will still have 59 minutes left. All right, and when you summon a unit, you cannot fuse units together to make them stronger like you could in Anime Adventures for the XP, right? But you can still sell units, and selling units is very, very needed in this game, because gold is very important. Every single evolution in the crafting section, in order to evolve a unit, costs around 25,000 gold in order to craft. As you can see, Flame Grimoire, you need 3 of these to make the Elf Wizard evolve, and 3 of them would be around 25,500 gold. But not only is gold used for evolving your unit, units. Gold is also used for your guild. Now, this is a really cool feature in Anime Defenders, but you can actually deposit how much gold you want into your guild bank or whichever guild you're in, and the people in the guild or the guild owner can delegate what you do with that gold. You can buy for more member slots, which increases their leaderboard rank if they add more people to do more damage, to get more XP, or different colors. Right now, I have faded green on my guild, but you can go all the way down to new yeller at 150,000 gold. I just want to point out real quick, I really think that's a really nice feature. I appreciate the Anime Defenders devs for putting that guild money thing in, because even though you can't take out the gold, you adding gold into the guild bank is it's just a lot of fun. I don't know, it's just fun. Okay, on to the next one. The best way right now to get gems is infinite mode. I actually also made an AFK version of this. I made a video on it. I'll put the video link in the comments. But the infinite mode gives around 40 gems every 2 minutes. The longer you stay in infinite mode, the less money you'll get. But at the end of the day, it is perfectly fine because you'll be leveling up the units along with it. Now, I will also say right now in this game, there is no next button on the story. You'll have to leave lobby in order to play the next story. In the future, there will probably 100% be a next button, so this might be redundant. And I might edit this out in the future. I don't know. Now, over here at the challenges, there are a bunch of challenges in the game that changes every hour. And the challenges give you something called these stars. Just like in Anime Adventures, these stars are very much needed to use to evolve your units. But the challenges can also give dice rerolls. As you can see right here, these dice rerolls, they reroll your stats for your units. If I wanted to reroll the F, A minus, C plus stat here, I can reroll it like so. But they also give these things called Frostbind. Now the challenges I believe right now are the only place we can get Frostbind. In the future, you might be able to get it from events. But right now for Frostbind, it will lock any one of your stats. 1 pound used for each stat. And when you lock it, you reroll. It'll reroll the stat that's not locked. Now in this game, there's trait reroll shards depending on the rarity of your person and what trait you got. So you can see it 4 times trait reroll. If I go down to Fire Lake Sonic and I reroll on hit this guy, it's 2 because he's an epic. I reroll him. I got Brawler 2. I reroll him again. The Hunter 1. Legendaries take 3, and Mythicals take 4. If I'm correct, Secrets will probably take like 5. If you guys also didn't know, there's an index right here. Kind of cool. It tells you all your discovered units and the shiny versions of it. So there's 50 units right now and 50 shinies basically. Now here is a tier list made by Cuckoo. I'll show you who Cuckoo is in just a second because they also made a spreadsheet. But this is their tier list on the meta. It's really well done in my opinion. And I'm guessing it's built by a lot of statistics, so I don't know exactly how accurate this tier list is, but I feel like it's more accurate than most. And they also made a damage per second spreadsheet for all the mythics and secrets in the game. This was made yesterday, and not everything has been added. These are all evoed, by the way. So every secret and every mythic's damage and damage per second and AoE is in the spreadsheet. Thanks to this guy, he made a really good spreadsheet on that. He was on this Discord and he posted it, and people have been sharing it, especially when the game came out. So I thought I might as well share this spreadsheet. I'll put the link in the description if it changes in the future. If the link becomes outdated, I'll put a new one in, or I'll make one of my own. One of the two. Or the other option is that I completely forget about it and you guys are just left with this. In which case, you're welcome. And moving on to the trading section. Trading, you can trade a bunch of things in this game. Like you can trade gems, you can trade rerolls, you can trade dices, you can trade basically everything but units. You can only trade shiny units and or secret units. As you can tell, every single unit that's being sold on these booths that these guys are setting up are all shiny. Fun fact though, when you trade units, you can actually trade their traits as well. So that is also part of the trading feature. You get the traits that come with the unit as well. Now I'll leave this link in the description. It's also on the Discord, their official Discord, but there is a group of people doing a trading spreadsheet value list. This will change over time. This is what it is right now. But like I said, I'll leave the URL in the description or the pinned comment. Now last but not least, the image for the guild. I know some people are having problems by creating an image for the guild. Basically, you gotta use the Roblox asset ID to get an image or what you would call a decal. You can look up a bunch of decals on Roblox asset ID. You just type in Roblox asset IDs and try to get IDs for decals of the images. I specifically had to make my own image, so I went to the Roblox creator thing, dashboard thing, and I clicked upload image or upload decal or something like that, and I just put it into Photoshop and put my own image on there. But you don't have to do that. You can probably find a bunch of decals with the Roblox asset ID. It can be kind of complicated, so you can always look that up online as well. But with that being said, that's it for the video. I'm pretty sure, at least I hope I covered everything. Everything that I didn't cover, or if I forgot to cover, or something coming out like raids, I'll put that in the pinned comment. So any edit on this video that I can make, I'll add. But with that being said, I hope this video helped out, and I'll see you in the next one maybe. Bye bye.
Quick, like and subscribe for insane luck in every game. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys the ultimate guide to anime defenders. I wasn't able to make this video when I first started the game because I didn't understand everything, but I've been doing a lot of research and I've been playing the game quite a bit so that I can actually teach you guys everything you need to do to progress in this game. Because the more I learned, the more I realized there's a ton of different things that you can do. And it's not as simple as just grinding levels over and over or getting lucky with really good trades. There's quite a bit more to it than that. So since this is a full ultimate guide to the game, I'm going to start off with some pretty basic things, but even for experienced players, you're going to want to hear some of the things throughout the video. So this is the lobby. There are raids, an area to summon units, the regular story mode where you play, challenges, and then this Tower of Eternity where you can also get some other rewards. So I'm going to start off with where you just play the campaign. So you have to complete all of these chapters to unlock infinite mode for a world. Same thing with all of the worlds. And the farther you get into these later worlds, the more XP you will get for your units. You get the same amount of currency and the same amount of objects and the same amount of player XP, no matter which level you complete, whether it's on easy or hard. Every level gives the same amount of gems, regular XP, and item drops. The only thing the later worlds give you extra is more XP on your units. So the first thing you're going to want to do in this game is try to complete some of these worlds. The first time you complete them, you get a bonus 80 gems. So if you literally just run through a few worlds of the campaign, you should have enough diamonds to summon some pretty decent units. So there's the standard units and then the limited banner units. And this limited banner is only going to be here for 10 more days, and they switch out these limited units all the time. So once you get some decent units, what I would recommend is using the strategy I taught in my previous video, the infinite AFK strategy, where you can just get as much XP and gems as the game can possibly give you for constantly playing. And you do this AFK. So if you haven't seen my previous video, you can literally set up an application to replay a level for you all night long, which will get you tons of XP, tons of gems, and tons of character XP. And then it'll also give you tons of these items that get dropped, where you can feed them to your units and get even more XP. So once you do that, just AFK the game for one night and level up some units, then you should have strong enough units to actually do some raids and do the Tower of Eternity and do some challenges. And these are really important to progressing later. But yeah, either play through the game, get a pretty high level, and open some units, or AFK the game with a macro like I showed you in my previous video. And then you'll get to be high enough level to equip a bunch of units, you'll be able to go and trade, and a bunch of other things. So once you get some decent units leveled up, then you're going to want to go to these challenges, because you can do all 3 of these challenges every hour, and you get these really good currencies called stars. And sometimes you can get the rarest star guaranteed. Like this challenge right here, it's a guaranteed rainbow star when it's usually only a 5%. And if you're wondering why these stars are useful, it's because you need them for crafting. So as you can see, all these different items need stars, and you get the stars from the challenges. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You just need these different colored stars to craft these different items in the game, and to evolve a unit, you need these items. So as you can see, I'm working on evolving my Shiny Donut Warrior into a Shiny Donut Master, which will make him way stronger. And even if you do not need the stars, let's say you don't have good enough units that can actually be evolved, well then you can just go and sell these stars in the trading area, because these stars are really, really good. So even if you don't have a mythic or a secret to evolve yet, so you don't really need the stars for yourself, you can literally just go trade them and get a bunch of gems, and then keep opening up units until you get something good enough to evolve yourself. Or you can just keep selling your stars and all the other stuff you get, and just go buy an already evolved unit. And then there's a few more things that you need to know about these units. So as you can see, this unit has an S tier, an S tier, and an A- tier. So I really don't want to roll this guy. The S tier is the best. But like this guy, for example, I got an S tier on this, and then D tier and E tier. So I'm going to want to use a Frostbind and try to get some better tiers on the rest of this stuff. And you're probably wondering, what is a Frostbind, and what are these risky dice? And it's pretty much just how you reroll the base stats on a unit. So if you get a unit evolved, it'll have this little star next to its name, and you evolve stuff with these items. You get the items from these stars, as you can see, and then you get the stars from challenges. And then some of the challenges can also give you trait crystals. So that's one more thing that's a little bit complicated for new players. So as you can see, this unit right here, he has Brawler 3, which isn't that good because I really need to save up my trait crystals, but it increases his damage by 15%. So what you really want to get is something like this: Precision, Requiem, and Almighty. These are the top 3 enchants, or not enchants, traits. These are the top 3 traits you can get on a unit. So like this little icon here, this little icon here, these are my unit's traits. As you can see, this unit has a double trait, and this unit has a double trait, which is really rare and really good. So yeah, you can evolve a unit and get a little star next to his name, like this guy, and it'll change his name. And then you can also get a trait on a unit like Brawler 3, and then you can also re-roll their stats and try to get them to all S tier. And sadly, you cannot make a unit shiny. So if you already have a shiny unit, all you need to do is get it evolved, get its ranks S tier, and get a really good trait on it. And then obviously level it up by either playing or doing the AFK method. So if we go down here to raids, you can get these raid shards, and you can also get a mythic for free. So you need to be doing these raids every time they pop up, and you need to be doing these challenges every time they pop up. Even if you don't need the stars or any of the stuff from the raids, you can always just go and sell the stuff that you don't need and get stuff that you do need. So no matter what, grinding these raids and challenges every day is really good if you're trying to progress. So here's the raid shop. Every time you do a raid, you get 30 raid shards. And then you can come to this shop and get these risky dice and these frostbinds and the these trait crystals, or you could literally just buy an item for evolving a character, or you can just buy a mythic character, or you can just buy gems if you don't need any of this other stuff. But yeah, the trait crystal obviously puts these traits on your units, and then the risky dice and the frostbind are to re-roll damage, cooldown, and range to try to get an S tier. So yeah, that's pretty much how you get all of the items in the game. You get all these different items from the raids, and then you get the stars to evolve your units from the challenges. And then there's this brand new thing called Tower of Eternity that's actually really good for getting gems. So let's say you've already completed the entire campaign, so you only get 30 gems for completing the level. You don't get the bonus plus 80 because you've already completed all the levels. You only get the bonus for the first time completion. This new Tower of Eternity is really, really good because you get the 30 plus 80 for every single floor. And this Tower of Eternity is going to reset every season. So if you've already completed your campaign and you've done your challenges and your raid for the past hour, just start working on the Tower of Eternity, and this will get you a bunch of gems as if you're completing a storyline mission for the first time. And then there's also an AFK zone where you can get some free gems, but I highly prefer using a macro such as Tiny Task to just redo a mission all night long, like I showed you guys in my previous video. Because when you're redoing a mission all night long, you're getting free gems, free player XP, free character XP, and these free items that also level up your characters. So yeah, that's pretty much how the main game works. We'll go and talk about trading in a second. But yeah, you start off with some weak units. You just need to play through a little bit of the storyline, come try to get some better units, play some more of the storyline, come get better units. You can do the AFK method for your first night, so you can level up your units a bunch, get a bunch of free gems, get a bunch of XP, so you're high enough level to equip multiple units and go trade. And then once you're at that point, do your raids every day, do your challenges every day. And like I said, they come back every hour, and some of them are really good and give you guaranteed rainbow stars or give you guaranteed trait crystals. So you can get all the items in the game just by actively playing. If you do your raids and your challenges consistently, and you go through the storyline and you do some AFK farming, you should have way more than enough gems to get some good units on your own, and way more than enough items to get some good traits, some good S tier stats, and you should be able to evolve your own units as well. So the only thing we haven't covered other than trading is infinite mode. And infinite mode has recently been changed to where it gives you quite a bit more XP and quite a bit more trait crystals. So if you already did your challenges and you already did your raids and you need more trait crystals, then you can do infinite mode, because they just recently buffed infinite mode, like I said, to give you more trait crystals. So that guy was going into infinite mode, and as you can see, it says the rewards are only 1 trait crystal, but I'm pretty sure it gives you 1 trait crystal like every wave or every couple of waves. So infinite mode's also a pretty good way to get some trait crystals if you've already completed all your other stuff that you have to wait on. So the very final thing I want to cover in this game is trading. Now, trading is not for everyone. Some people really, really hate trading, and some people are really, really good at trading. But hear me out. Even if you hate trading, you can make some really good profit in this game from trading. Now, I'm not about to make a value list on this game and make everybody mad, but I just want to say that there are lists out there. If you go to the official Anime Defenders Discord, they also have like a value discussions channel where anyone in the community can talk about values. It's kind of just like a general chat. So if you can learn for yourself around what things are worth, then you can come into the trading plaza, find something that's a few thousand underpriced, and then just resell it. And a few thousand gems might not sound like too much, but if you're grinding the game, you only get 110 gems for a completion of a new level, or the completion of a new floor on the Tower of Eternity. And you only get 30 gems if you're replaying a mission. And all of these missions take like 4 to 6 minutes. So if you think about it, if you profit just a couple thousand gems off of somebody selling a cheap mythic, like let's say this warrior queen was worth 30,000 and you find one for only 25. I'm not saying that's accurate, I'm using it as an example, but even just a small little profit, let's say this is worth 28 and you find it for 25, nice. And then it takes you a little bit to sell it, maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes. Even if it takes you an hour to sell it, you made thousands of gems, which would take multiple hours of grinding the game to get. So you can make a ton of gems just trading. You can also just trade for some extra stars or some extra items to evolve your units, or just trade for some rerolls or frostbinds. If you're trying to get better stats on your units and you don't have enough of these, you can just come and get some extra in here if you have some extra diamonds to spare. Or let's say you have a bunch of stars you don't need, but you do need rerolls. Then you just gotta sell to somebody that's looking for stars and find somebody that's selling rerolls. So yeah, there's a ton of ways to progress in this game. It's a ton of fun how much you can do all on your own, but if you're good at trading and you're getting up there in the game a little bit, it might be worth it to try to do some trades. Try to find some good units that somebody is selling for cheap, and then you can either just use the unit yourself because it's a really good unit, or you could just resell it for a little bit more and make profit. But the more you have, the more efficient trading is. You don't want to be trading when you're barely level 15 and you got like a couple stars to sell. Like you're gonna go in there and make like a couple hundred gems or something. Like it's not even worth it. So you're gonna want to play through the game and do all the stuff that I was talking about for a while before you go and invest a bunch of time into trading, because the more you have, the more efficient trading is. Like let's say you have 1,000,000 gems, you're a pro player. You can go to the trading plaza and find people selling secret units for like 30,000 or 50,000 under what they could get. So if you're really rich, you could go and flip like big secret units and make tens and tens of thousands of gems profit. But if you're not that good at the game yet and you're trying to go and sell like some basic legendary units and just a couple stars or a couple of whatever you grinded for, like it's just not gonna be worth it. When you're that low down in the hierarchy of trading, I guess, it's just not worth it to focus on trading. So try to get some really good units first. Try to grind a bunch of stars and rerolls and all this stuff. And then if you want to go trade, you'll actually have a bunch of stuff to trade with and you'll actually be able to make a bunch of profit. But if you're not to that point yet, it's way more efficient to just play the game. Just play the game. There's so many different things that you can do in this game, and it's only on update 2. Like you can constantly play. You can do an infinite run and then you lose. You come over here, open some stuff. You need to work on your traits. You need to work on your rank. You need to work on evolving. So you just do some challenges. You do some raids. Do some more missions. Do this Tower of Eternity if you already completed the story mode and you want some extra gems. And then after you do a couple of these, oh, the raids are back. And oh, my challenges are back. So let's get a bunch more of this. Let's get a bunch more of this. There's just constant ways to progress in this game, and it's literally only on update 2. So once you learn the basics, once you pretty much have watched this video, now you pretty much...
Welcome to the new to pro series in Anime Defenders. Let's start off with the first ever unit in the game. We got Luke. The goal for the series is to become a pro, get a secret unit, 100,000 gems, as well as beat all of the stories. Before we get into it, we are doing a massive giveaway challenge. When we hit 1 million subscribers before the end of the year, I'm going to be giving away 1 million Robux. And don't worry guys, I have plenty. So all you guys have to do right now to enter is hit the subscribe button and stay posted. And we're going to try to get Cursed Fighter or Spirit Hybrid. So we can only do one extra right now because we are broke as a joke. But a straw hat, okay, we can't be getting 2. Ooh,
an epic? Yo, that spirit. This looks like Choso. Is that Choso? I don't know. All right, let's open a couple more. Okay, is that Goku with critical 3? Yo, that's actually cracked. Critical 3 is really good. Yo, that's some WRED. Let's go see what critical 3 does. So critical 3 gives us, it's a 6% drop, 30% crit chance. Yo, that's really...
I've made it no secret that Miami is one of my least favorite places I've ever visited. I've been there about 3 times now, and every single time it's a nightmare. It's extremely expensive for anything. I remember going there for spring break in college, and a single beer was 18 clams. I will never forget that price because it had my eyes popping out of my skull like it was Looney Tunes. It was unbelievable. I also hate how crowded it is, so if you're trying to go 5 miles by car, you're better off just hopping on a fucking unicycle. You'll get there significantly faster. It takes like an hour to just go a handful of miles, and it's a cacophony of annoying noise because people are constantly like hitting their horn, like they need that more than oxygen. So if you're in like the Miami Beach area, it just sounds like you're being skull fucked by an air horn at all times. I have not had a good experience any of the times I visited, but there is one thing Miami is very well known for that I'm very well aware of, and that's road rage. Watching it full speed, it really felt like he stayed in the air longer and got higher, but when I went back and like froze frame, he didn't get that high off the ground at all. It's like he got in the air and then started lagging like there was a ping issue. But this gentleman here jumps up with a flying hammer fist and fucking judo chops the mirror off of this car in a road rage incident. This video's been going viral over the last 24 hours, and it had me giggling. Also, the caption that I saw with it was posted by Barstool Sports when I first saw it, and the caption said, "This man put the mirror on a poster." Even that had me laughing. But just the way that he leaps into the air like Darius Alting out of League of Legends, just to come down with like a fucking full force asteroid and blast the mirror off the car. Oh my god, it was the thing of legend. I don't know how hard it is to do that, by the way. I don't know if this is a display of martial arts prowess or not, but I do remember when I was a kid, I accidentally did this to my parents' car mirror after I shot a basketball and it caught the front of the rim and hit right into the mirror. So I don't even think it takes that much force. I just feel like most people don't bother to do that. And I know his hand was probably sore. That shit was probably throbbing. Probably looked like Tom Sand out of Tom and Jerry after he hits it with a mallet or something.
Damn.
Don't worry, there is a video of it, and I also imagine the high-octane cocaine grandmaster Into the Fist would also want a copy of that as well. I bet he would want to post this on his fucking LinkedIn. He probably thought this was the hypest shit imaginable. So I don't know the context of what led to it. It seems just like classic road rage, but it starts with her throwing some kind of like plastic water bottle at him or something. It looks like the squirt bottle from Space Jam or something with the secret stuff, and it misses, but it was still enough to trigger his super soldier programming, so he like NPC jogs over there and gets her with the fucking kablamo right on the car mirror, and then goes back to his vehicle and turns away. An incredible series of events here. I don't know if there's more to the story, but goodness gracious, what a fucking goofy thing to capture on camera. And speaking of goofy, since I used the word, Goof Juice, my GamerStuff flavor, available right now. Best flavor of anything ever made, I promise. Go to gamerstuff.gg/moist to get some. Now I want to also take you through memory lane here in Miami road rage history to bring you what I think to be one of the best instances of road rage that's ever been captured. This was quite a few years ago now, and it's something special.
You've likely heard of the term catching a ride, but it looks like this guy may have snagged more than he bargained for. At speeds up to 70 miles an hour, he clinged to the hood of this black Mercedes with one hand while on his cell phone with the other. Surprisingly, his sandals still sticking to his feet as passing drivers recorded video of the man as he zipped past cars on the express lanes of I-95 near Hollandale Beach Boulevard.
Bro, she's definitely pissed off at him.
Daniel Maida said he was driving south on 95 around 8 last night.
The videographer's theory was correct. He was able to sniff out this situation at just a glance. It turns out that it was a disagreement between an ex-boyfriend and that woman that's driving the car. And 70 miles per hour is no joke. If she so much as hit like a rock and caused the car to jostle a little bit, this guy would have fucking flown off. Like he would have shot off like Team Rocket into the sky. And heavens to Betsy, if she decided to just like brake check, just like slam on the brakes really quick, it would have been like a fucking railgun for this guy's body. He would have been vaporized. That is extremely fast, and it lasted for 19 miles. And what's incredible about this one isn't just the pure lunacy of this situation, but the fact that we have multiple angles. So the woman driving also filmed, and we have the 911 call. So he's casually hanging onto the car with one hand while on the phone with the other. And he's actually on with 911. So here's the audio of that.
911, what is that emergency? Yes, I'm on top of a speeding vehicle, someone's trying to steal my car. Okay, what's the address?
Address? Say what?
I don't know where I'm at.
It really is quite the pickle to be in because they can't really triangulate that position. Like you can't give them a location because it's changing so frequently.
This is what the crazy scene looked like from inside the car.
Get off of my car! Get off!
He was shot by the driver, Patricia Isidore, and that's her ex-boyfriend. You can see him hanging onto the windshield wiper with one hand and cell phone in the other hand for 19 terrifying miles down busy I-95 South near Miami.
Seeing the footage from inside of the vehicle is so interesting because he looks extremely calm. Like he's just the Zen master here. 70 miles per hour for 19 grueling miles. That's a lot of distance to travel. Like that's not a short time to be hanging on for dear life. And he's just looking at her disappointed. Like just more disappointed than anything. Like, can't believe you done this. He's giving her the same look I give to someone who makes like a really lame pun. Like, I don't know how he is that calm with all of that. Because again, one tiny thing goes wrong and he's just dead from that.
As I was getting ready to go and pick up my daughter, he hopped on top of my car. And I told him, get off the car, and he wouldn't get off the car.
The couple split up 8 months ago, but they're still trying to live together. Grover and Patricia Isidore was charged with negligence and exposure to harm. She spoke to WSVN TV after being released on bond.
Did you ever think to yourself, you shouldn't be driving?
No.
I don't know why she wouldn't have thought about not driving with him on the hood of the car. It's also dangerous for her too. Like she can't really see the road all that well either. Like this could have been fatal for both of them. And really it seems to have started over something pretty small, a disagreement on who could use the car at that time. And she wanted to go pick up the daughter and then he decided to jump on the hood and then she said, fuck it, we'll do it live and just took off, just started zooming with it with him on the hood. Like that's just unhinged. Like that's crazy. That is a Miami road rage incident that I don't think can ever really be topped. But I do really think that the leaping karate chop is up there for some of the best Miami road rage I've seen. So I definitely wanted to talk about both of these. That's really about it. So, yeah.
So, female Zach. Oh boy. Wow. Okay, here we go. Let's see it.
Things in my house that just make sense and it's a little bit comical. Part 4. This fucking scene. I don't know how to feel about it. It's just fucking funny. The pantry door that decided he was done holding on. I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Ass pooping. Drawers on the porch. Did my best to handle the mice, but they're nearly invincible. Here's some more, because it's honestly infinite. Patching a bunch of rat holes in my house. Y'all, once I got a dead mouse with cockroach with the guts inside of it. Anyways, they ate the roach gel and the paper that was on it. There's a hole in the bathroom wall. I'm not sure how it got there, but I will say whoever built it in was extremely lazy. I know who built it in. And this is the sink in the kitchen.
You want to know what's really crazy about this? Is that I know exactly what she did. She went to Home Depot and she bought the expanding foam and she put the foam in the hole. How would I know that? Who could possibly imagine?
I will say whoever built it in was extremely lazy. I know who built it in. And this is the sink in the kitchen. Don't know how long it's been this way, but it's been this way a long time. And nobody listens to what I tell them how to use the water on that side. Our toilet with no top, you have to pull the rod. And by the way, y'all, I am not complaining. Oh, you want to take a bath? Let's go turn on the water heater so we can take a bath. And yeah, the hot water's ready for our bath. Now we're off in the fresh. Let's get out of the bath now. And then we have to go back to the water heater because this is what happens when the water heater's on. Also, occasionally it rains.
Yeah, that happens.
I had to go in the couch with the old one was so moldy. And here's a video I caught of them not stealing my pizza. Thank you for watching.
I think I've had every single one of these things happen to me, minus the leaky faucet. Yeah, and this is no rat stole your pizza. No, but it was a raccoon and it was cake, and I made a video of it and I posted it on Twitter. You can go back and find it somewhere. I was sitting outside and then a raccoon just came and got it. Look at that. The rat taking all last pizza. Yeah, I mean she shouldn't let him do that. I mean the thing is like he's only eating the crust. You just take it, maybe pull the crust off if you're worried about eating the rat part, you know. Which I wouldn't even worry about that. Who gives a fuck, man?
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I'm in big trouble. In big trouble. I'm not going to be in big trouble.
Just how deep are the Great Lakes?
Let's get some of that fat out of them. There go that platinum season. Don't be scared of it. What cuz say? If you ain't sneezing, then it ain't season. That boudin right here, we gonna stuff it. Oh my lord. Stuff it till you can't stuff it no more. This gator gonna be full of flavor. Hold up, we can't forget about that cream cheese. If it ain't seasoned like this, then it ain't seasoned right. Now we gonna get them all nice and wrapped. Let's put them in the fridge for about 2 hours while we let that platinum flavor marinate. Let's get this grill rolling. I use hickory and pecan wood. Let's get it to about 270 degrees. Before we put this gator on the grill, we gonna wrap it in bacon. Oh my goodness. Make it cook a little faster too. And let me tell you about the flavor it brings. Only one word, platinum. Let's get some of that fat out of it.
Bourbon Bacon Jam Tomahawk. Dry aged tomahawk. Olive oil as the binder. Maple bourbon. Using lefty right now. Now we smoke it at 225. Half frozen bacon so it's easier to cut. Bacon's cooking down in the pan and we're just gonna dice up onion, shallot, and we're gonna mix that in there. Now we're going with the onions and shallots. I know it looks like a lot of onions, but they're gonna cook down. Whiskey, flambe. There we go. Brown sugar, apple cider vinegar, maple syrup, Cuso's maple bourbon, and crushed red pepper flakes. Cook this down slowly. Now we start a fire. Steak on. Hot and fast sear. Make sure to get that fat cap too. Now we take that bacon jam and glaze our tomahawk. A bit of chives for color. See how we did? Unbelievable. Oh my lord. Sweet, salty, savory perfection. One of my favorite tomahawks I've made today.
Should you get a... I added biological weapons to Minecraft. You can now pop the leg off of a cave spider and put it on a stick to craft a spider leg sword. In a war, this wouldn't be that much better than a regular sword though, so you can put a poisonous cave spider between two pistons like this and mush it around so fast that it turns into poisonous cave spider gas. This is way more effective for a hypothetical war, but while we were playing with spiders, the witch, who has always been using bio
We're not reaching for anything, bud. We're not even doing it, man. We're out here just going fishing, man. You can't carry a rifle like that. Yeah, absolutely can. There's no open carry. Yes, there is, sir. Nope. Yes, man. What was your name and badge number? We're not trying to have. If you're. What's that? Going fishing? Yes, sir. Okay. All right. Let me do me a favor, okay? Sure. I'm gonna go ahead and take your weapon.
South Korea deals with the same issues.
So this species is the southern yellowjacket, also known as Vespula squamosa, and is by far one of the most aggressive yellowjacket species that I deal with here in PA. They are absolutely relentless when they're attacking something to defend their colony. And with them being a subterranean yellowjacket species, no one knows they're there until they stumble upon the nest. Well, yellowjackets can't distinguish the difference between a threat and a non-threat, so everyone is treated like a threat. So with this particular client, they had dogs, and the dogs were running around the yard here and got attacked and stung, and I believe the homeowner got stung herself, so the yellowjackets had to go. Anytime that I'm dealing with a subterranean yellowjacket species, I try to get as much of the swarm out of the nest at the same time as possible right through the entranceway. So I set the nozzle kind of off to the side, so as the yellowjackets are coming out, they think it's safe and they're thinking to attack. So they fly. The second they become airborne, they get sucked up right into the nozzle. So this species is the southern yellowjacket.
today's Anime Defenders video. This is going to be the final video that I'm going to drop today. It's going to be a tier list video. Now, I wanted to do a showcase video on Luna Empress.
Welcome back for another video. In today's video, I will be giving you guys a guide on how to become a noob to a pro in Anime Defenders. Basically, this is going to be the beginner's guide for most noobs in Anime Defenders in order to transform their game and become a pro without having to spend money or without having to spend any alt accounts. Now, the first step would be liking and subscribing because our 10,000 subscribers secret unit giveaway is about to end and you could miss out on a chance to win a secret unit here in Anime Defenders. So if you want to be part of this giveaway and future giveaways that we are going to be doing, such as the secret unit giveaway that we're going to be doing for 15,000 subscribers and the one at 20,000 subscribers, and all you have to do is like and subscribe because we're going to do a secret unit giveaway in all of these sub goals. All you have to do is subscribe. So subscribe right now and let's continue on with this video. So if you are a complete beginner in this game, there are some few things I need to show you guys. Number one is there are a few units that you need to get. But before you can actually equip those units, you need to first get to level 25. Now, the best way to do this is by going here and just basically farming Windmill Village, farming the quests, and essentially getting to level 25. Now, once you get to level 25, that's when you can basically start, using traded units. Because you can basically trade units in this game, which is how most people play the game. They trade and they buy on boots. However, there's a limit that only level 25 players can actually use the units that they bought or traded for. I think that's how it works right now. So if you want to be able to use your units, then you're gonna have to trade. You're gonna have to get to level 25. And the units that you should get are very easy to get. I actually sometimes give this away for free. The number one is Donut Warrior because he is a good slow unit, and then he is also being sold for very cheap. I literally give away this guy. Sometimes give him away. Then the next one is going to be Legion. So any of these Legion veteran guys are going to be very easy to get. Even the Legion Assassin, you're going to find a lot of people selling him here in the trading hub. So right here, you can actually see that there are a bunch of units here for sales. For example, you have Wire Queen for 20,000, although that is actually quite overpriced. You're going to find a good one here eventually. Wait, this one doesn't have people that sell it, so we're going to actually have to change servers. But there's a guy here that was actually selling Muscle Sorcerer, but he left. So yeah, right here, Legion veteran for sale for 2,000 gems, and he's a hybrid unit. So he doesn't have that much damage, but he or she is a hybrid unit, and she also has a very cool effect that basically buffs your other units, which is why she's a very awesome unit. So if you can buy her, she's very cheap. Some people sell her for 2,000 gems. Get to level 25 and get Legion Veteran. And then after Legion Veteran, you can also find trades for Donut Warrior, Muscle Sorcerer. This unit is also one of the best mythic units in the game right now. So he is a very good one. And also Legion Assassin is another very good one. But let me actually make a team for you guys right now. So these units right here are the ones that you should actually get. So that's your beginner team. So let's continue on. So let's say for example, have these units right here, I would recommend you to just farm story mode until you have gems. But I wouldn't recommend you to get or summon with the banner, especially if you don't have the 3 times luck, because the chances of you getting a secret here is very low, and you might actually not get a secret if you don't have hundreds of thousands of gems and you don't have super lucky. So they are going to add a free-to-play lucky potion in the next update, so that's very good. But if you don't have those and you don't have a ton of gems, I wouldn't recommend you to summon. Instead, I would recommend you to go back to the trading lobby and essentially trade for units. Now, these are your beginner units right here, but you also have other good units that you can get. So you can only trade for shiny units, which is something that you guys should take note of. Strike Commander is a very good unit, so you might want to go look for him. Flame units that you need to get. But before you can actually equip those units, you need to first get to level 25. Now, the best way to do this is by going here and just basically farming Windmill Village, farming the quests, and essentially getting to level 25. Now, once you get to level 25, that's when you can basically start, using traded units. Because you can basically trade units in this game, which is how most people play the game. They trade and they buy on boots. However, there's a limit that only level 25 players can actually use the units that they bought or traded for. I think that's how it works right now. So if you want to be able to use your units, then you're gonna have to trade. You're gonna have to get to level 25. And the units that you should get are very easy to get. I actually sometimes give this away for free. The number one is Donut Warrior because he is a good slow unit, and then he is also being sold for very cheap. I literally give away this guy. Sometimes just give him away. Then the next one is going to be Legion. So any of these Legion veteran guys are going to be very easy to get. Even the Legion Assassin, you're going to find a lot of people selling him here in the trading hub. So right here, you can actually see that there are a bunch of units here for sale. So for example, you have Warrior Queen for 20,000, although that is actually quite overpriced. You're going to find a good one here eventually. Wait, this one doesn't have people that sell it, so we're gonna actually have to change servers. But there's a guy here that was actually selling Muscle Sorcerer, but he left. So yeah, right here, Legion Veteran for sale for 2,000 gems, and he's a hybrid unit, so he doesn't have that much damage, but he or she is a hybrid unit, and she also has a very cool effect that basically buffs your other units, which is why she's a very awesome unit. So if you can buy her, she's very cheap. Some people sell her for 2,000 gems. Get to level 25 and get Legion Veteran, and then after Legion Veteran, you can also find trades for Donut Warrior, Muscle Sorcerer. This unit is also one of the best mythic units in the game right now, so she or he is a very good one, and also Legion Assassin is another very good one. But let me actually make a team for you guys right now. So these units right here are the ones that you should actually get. So that's your beginner team. So let's continue on. So let's say for example you have these units right here. I would recommend you to just farm story mode until you have gems, but I wouldn't recommend you to get or summon with the banner, especially if you don't have the 3 times luck, because the chances of you getting a secret here is very low, and you might actually not get a secret if you don't have hundreds of thousands of gems and you don't have super lucky. So they are gonna add a free-to-play lucky potion in the next update, so that's very good. But if you don't have those and you don't have a ton of gems, I wouldn't recommend you to summon. Instead, I would recommend you to go back to the trading lobby and essentially trade for units. Now these are your beginner units right here, but you also have other good units that you can get. So you can only trade for shiny units, which is something that you guys should take note of. Strike Commander is a very good unit, so you might want to go look for him. Flame Dragon King is another very good unit if you don't trade trade for the shiny, and also cursed. I don't have cursed one because I've never summoned for him. But yeah, you can use those if you once you get to this next stage, because they are going to be better units. Okay, they are going to be better units. And after that, after you've gotten a better team, for example, what you're going to do now is you're essentially just going to keep farming until you have like a bunch of gems. Now, one of the methods that I've mentioned earlier is the Tower of or the Hall of Mirrors. Now, the Hall of Mirrors is going to be a 1% chance to get a Wish Crystal at Nightmare mode. But if you can do it with other people that can carry you, then you might actually have a chance of getting Trade Crystals or Wish Crystals. And they sell for I think around 18,000-20,000 each, which is very good. You can sell that, and once you have enough gems. But let me actually explain to you the next step of this method. The next step of this method is going to include buying and trading, right? Buying and selling basically. So my method is going to include going onto the Discord and looking for good trades for rerolls or units, wish stars or wish crystals. And then essentially, after I find a good trade, I am going to go here on the game and make sure that there are a bunch of players with a lot of gems, and then basically open up a booth and then say in chat, selling trade crystals. I have tons. And then you just wait until somebody buy your stock. And then after people have buy your stock, which they do, I think I've made over 2-3 million using this method already. It does take a long time. You have to AFK here, but if you can sell these trade crystals for 200,000 and then buy them for 185,000, that's a bunch of gems that you can profit. Now again, it is going to take a lot of time, but if you can manage to sell them, which you will, then you can profit. So there are people saying, can you sell 500 trades for 85k gems? So he's saying 85k gems, but I'm saying maybe I can do 95k gems because 85k is too low. So it's gonna be hard to sell. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be hard to sell. But if you do sell them, you are gonna profit. So a lot of people in the booth in the trading hub doesn't know the prices. So since there's a lot of people that doesn't know the prices, some of them just buy these trade crystals. Also, another tip that I would add is create different listings. For example, 1,000 trade crystals for 200,000 might be super expensive, so I would do 500 and then sell it for like 100,000, or maybe sometimes even less, like 95,000, and then sell it for that. And then I'll probably create a smaller listing around 250 and sell it for 48,000. So yeah, as you can see right here, this is my system, and I'm going to profit off of this because they're probably going to buy these ones right here because it looks kind of cheap and it looks like there's a lot of them. So eventually these will sell, and after they sell, I'm just going to buy a new stock and then do this process again. And that's actually how I have a ton of rerolls, and that's actually how a lot of the people in the leaderboard are making money. So they are using this method. They are selling units, rerolls, and they are basically just flipping them in the trading hub or on Discord. But I would recommend on trading hub because there's a lot of people here that doesn't know the prices. So after you've done this method and you have a ton of gems, and for example, let's say you have millions of gems, this is kind of like the end game of this game. What you're gonna do is you're now gonna start buying units. I wouldn't recommend you to reroll for Almighty because your luck might be bad. So just to demonstrate, I'm going to pick my Legion Assassin right here, or maybe my Chancing right here, okay? And I'm gonna roll. If I get Almighty, it's because I'm lucky, but you guys probably might not be as lucky as me. But yeah. And I could lose a ton of gems if I keep on doing that. So the better method is to just go and buy units with gems. For example, I actually got a Legion Captain for 900,000 gems, which is a huge W. Sometimes you can find awesome deals like this on Discord. So if you want to sell stuff, always do it on booth or on Trading Hub. But if you want to buy stuff, always do it on Discord, because most people on Discord sell for cheaper because they know the prices, and you can literally like sell for a lot more in Booth Hub because people don't know the prices. So that's another thing, right? That's another thing that you have to consider. So by doing this method, by just buying the units, then you are going to... So yeah, like I said, don't reroll for units, or don't summon for units, don't reroll for units, because there's a high chance that you won't be getting them, and there's a high chance that you'll be losing gems instead of gaining them. So my advice would just be to buy the units instead of trying to reroll for them, because it's just a smarter option. Always remember the prices of the units that you are going to buy. Avoid overpaying, because if you overpay for units, you're going to lose gems so much faster. Okay, so if you want to avoid losing gems and if you want to stay rich, then don't overpay for units. Always be patient and find the best trades possible. That's basically my beginner's guide on how to go from noob to pro. Now, I would probably make another guide talking about everything
Yo, what is good everyone? Welcome to another video on my channel. In today's video, I have an insane tutorial on how you guys can make your first 1 million gems in Anime Defenders. You can also make up to 5 million gems depending if you follow this tutorial correctly and listen to everything I say word for word. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Alright guys, before we actually do get into the video, I just wanted to let you guys know when we hit 7,000 subscribers, I'll be giving away 1 million gems to a random subscriber that joins my Discord server to discord.gg/zelkey to join my Discord, or press the first link in the description to join my Discord. I'll be giving away Let's get straight into the video. Alright guys, before we actually do get into the video, I just wanted to let you guys know when we hit 7,000 subscribers, I'll be giving away 1 million gems to a random subscriber that joins my Discord server to discord.gg/zelkey to join my Discord, or press the first link in the description to join my Discord server. I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the support lately. We are 190 subs away from hitting 7k, and you guys mean everything to me. Huge shout out to all my members, huge shout out to Novi for gifting a bunch of members when I go live, and also I do go live every single day giving away millions and millions of gems in units and pure gems, so make sure to like and subscribe, have notifications on to get notified when I do go live. Without further ado, let's actually get into this tutorial. So guys, the first step is completing portals. As you guys saw, the rewards are absolutely insane. You guys do get rerolls as a compensation for completing a portal. So with portals, you guys can do this multiple times. Just farm portals like crazy until you have up to 100 rerolls. When you do have 100 rerolls, I would recommend sending them at your booth for 400 gems each.
being careless, just being
My 25-year-old daughter is a writer in Hollywood. She has become something of a social media influencer over the last year or so. She has about 103,000 followers on TikTok. Many of her videos get millions of views. She also gets quite a lot of media attention. Her shtick is that she was raised in a conservative-leaning Christian home. Now she's putting out videos like this.
It's Pride Month. Happy Pride to all of the formerly Christian, Republican, homophobic children who grew up to be pretty gay. I always forget that being pro-choice technically means that I'm pro people also being able to choose to keep the baby. I just heard about some people from my high school who accidentally got pregnant and the girl is apparently decided to keep the baby. And my first thought was what? I'm like, our state is pro-choice. You can get rid of it. And I said that to a mutual friend and she was like, well, yeah, she can also choose to keep it. I was like, oh, that's how that works. I don't know if I'm pro-choice. I think I'm pro a lot of the people I know shouldn't be parents yet. Happy Pride Month. When I was little, I was super homophobic and Christian. So I literally protested gay marriage, truly marched against it. Anyway, now I like eating pussy.
She's posted more than 600 videos. Now, most of her videos are not like this. I'd say 75% of her videos are okay, though not my taste. But her channel's been moving in this new direction recently. As I move forward to this video, I'll outline my theories on what I think led to this change in her content. Maddie's mom, Betsy, and I got divorced in 2005. And I actually view Maddie's videos as an attack on Maddie's mom more than on me, because Maddie's mom presents herself as a hardcore Christian. She also works for a pro-life organization. Maddie is basically giving the middle finger to her mom with these videos. I, on the other hand, am impossible to shock. I had a really good friend who turned out to be one of America's most famous bank robbers, so nothing shocks me. Now, I certainly vote Republican. My actual political and religious views are complicated and evolving all the time. And I grew up in a family that was divided politically. My mom was an artist and she was far left. She was a volunteer for Ralph Nader in the 2000 election because she thought Al Gore was too right-wing. My father voted for John F. Kennedy over Richard Nixon in 1960. He was a professor of English literature at Dartmouth College. He started writing book reviews for National Review and became friends with conservative intellectual William F. Buckley. And Dad became a senior editor at National Review when he was a full professor at Dartmouth. Dad wrote speeches for Ronald Reagan when he was governor of California in 1968, when Reagan was sort of thinking of running for president. And then Dad wrote speeches for Nixon in 1968 and 1972. Dad voted for Reagan in both 1980 and 1984. My dad broke with the Republican Party over the Iraq War. He voted for Obama in 2008 and 2012. And I would also describe myself as a John F. Kennedy-style Democrat. John F. Kennedy was very anti-communist, very patriotic, pro-life, and pro-God. He would be considered a right-winger today. My political views are probably pretty much in alignment with Elon Musk's. I'm pro-American. I'm for what works best for the whole. I sometimes describe myself as a utilitarian, tempered by Christianity and the Bill of Rights. I'm for maximizing freedom because freedom works best. If freedom failed whenever tried, I would not be for freedom. But freedom works. But of course, we also need rules. And we do need a social safety net because some people just can't make it on their own, can't take care of themselves. And yes, I am pro-life, which is one of the unalienable rights listed in the Declaration of Independence. Each one of us has an unalienable right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. At the same time, there are the hard cases. If a 12-year-old girl gets raped and is pregnant, should she be required to carry the baby to term? Most people would say no. During the week that Maddie was graduating from Northwestern University a few years ago, I was having dinner with Maddie and her boyfriend of 3 or 4 years. A nice kid named Elijah. Here he is. And somehow the discussion turned to politics. I think she asked me how I could vote for Donald Trump. And I said I wasn't for Donald Trump in the Republican primaries. My first choice was Scott Walker, the governor of Wisconsin. He dropped out of the race quickly. So then I was for Marco Rubio. But Trump blew Rubio out of the water in his home state of Florida by 19 points. I was pretty much for anyone but Trump in the Republican primaries in 2016. But I found Trump preferable to Hillary Clinton. And I have a video here on my true views of Donald Trump. There's a lot wrong with Donald Trump, but I think he's better than anybody that the Democrats are likely to put up. I asked her why she decided to become a Democrat, and it was not any kind of hostile question at all. I was just curious. Maddie was a theater major at Northwestern University. She was heavily into theater in high school. She got a number of lead roles in big productions, so she majored in theater in college. I wasn't especially happy with that. What can you do with a degree in theater? But that's what she wanted to major in. That's what she wanted to do. And people who are in the arts, people who are creative, tend to be on the liberal left side. Creative arts types tend to be right-brain dominant thinkers, which is the emotions and feelings side of the brain. Engineers tend to be more conservative, tend to be left-brain dominant, which is the logic side of the brain. Engineers use math. Engineers want the systems, devices, and structures that they're working on to fit together, to work properly. Engineers are systems people, so they tend to be more conservative. Elon Musk had been a Democrat. He was also an engineer, so it's not surprising that he moved more toward the Republican side in recent years. And as he often says, his political views have not actually really changed. But the Democrat Party has moved hard left. Ronald Reagan was also a Democrat. He famously said he did not leave the Democrat Party left him. And the Democrat Party has been trending left since John F. Kennedy, and then continued to accelerate leftward under Barack Obama. And it's completely insane now. And Elon Musk seems to have the same view. Here's one of his tweets on his political views. As you can see, he did not change. The political spectrum shifted leftward. And like Elon, I'm not any kind of ideologue. I'm for whatever works best, with a heavy bias toward maximizing freedom, while acknowledging that we also need rules. We can't have a football game without rules, without referees. But if there are too many rules and referees, the game becomes unplayable. And I think we find out what works best over time through trial and error. And that's essentially my political philosophy. I'm for what works. And I don't care much whether Maddie agrees with me on politics, religion, or whatever. She's a theater major and an artsy type, so I wouldn't expect her to agree with me. And I have all kinds of friendships with people I disagree with on almost everything. At our dinner with Maddie and her then boyfriend Elijah, Maddie said that her main problem with the Republican Party was the abortion issue. And I said, well, okay, so if a woman gets pregnant, do you think that she should know whether or not she's pregnant after, say, the first trimester, and make her decision by then? And Maddie answered, well, yeah, I think she should be able to make a decision by then, before the first trimester is up. And I pointed out that that's pretty much the law in countries like Sweden and France, which are pretty much considered progressive countries. In France, for example, abortions are allowed up until 14 weeks. After that, 2 physicians must agree that continuing the pregnancy to term would present serious medical complications or threaten the life of the mother. And Sweden has a similar law. And Maddie at that time thought this was acceptable. This was a couple of years ago. Now she says her view is this.
I just heard about some people from my high school who accidentally got pregnant and the girl is apparently decided to keep the baby. And my first thought was what? I'm like, our state is pro-choice. You can get rid of it. I don't know if I'm pro-choice. I think I'm pro a lot of the people I know shouldn't be parents yet.
So what she seems to be saying here is not pro-choice. She seems to be saying she's for mandatory abortion for some people, like her friend from high school who chose to keep the baby, because Maddie thinks this person is not ready to become a parent. And Maddie refers to the unborn baby as an it, as in she can just get rid of it, as if the baby is a piece of trash. The cavalier attitude toward life is the problem here. I would think that Maddie is glad that her mom did not have this attitude when she was pregnant with Maddie. Bill Clinton used to say that abortion should be legal but rare. My guess is that Maddie is making these shock videos, well, for shock value. Maddie knows her videos are very upsetting to her mom, so that's my interpretation of Maddie's new act. She's taking a dump on her mom. And she often talks in her videos about her one-night stands, her regular bouts with chlamydia, and her drinking binges. And now Maddie is presenting herself as an LGBTQ+ activist.
It's Pride Month. Happy Pride to all of the formerly Christian, Republican, homophobic children who grew up to be pretty gay.
Happy Pride Month. When I was little, I was super homophobic and Christian, so I literally protested